Hello. So it is Tuesday the 25th, and I've just written about 450 words. It's about 9 o'clock, and I'm pretty happy with that. I think I just tucked into the story and let it go. I did run into a problem that I think happens to a lot of people on their first draft, where I've planned on something and then what I've written, it's basically like you plan on two things and one of the things completely makes the other thing not possible, and somehow you've not realized this until you're writing it and you're like, oh, well, if I do this, then I can't do that. So yeah, I did have a bit of a thing, like technology-wise. I'm like, okay, well, so this is gonna happen. And then she's gonna download her audiobook, or she's gonna listen to her audiobook, and I'm like, oh, well, technologically that can't fucking happen anymore. Not to despair. I have a solution, and I've already written it. It's just something that during revisions, this will need to be brought up earlier because it does come up kind of out of the blue, unexplained, because I wasn't planning on it. Also, I just wanted to say that recently this whole AuthorTube / YouTube thing has been super fun, and I love getting to talk to y'all. Sometimes I'm bad at like replying or responding because sometimes I genuinely am like, I don't know what to say. So I'm sorry about that. I really genuinely enjoy it. It's been so great. Oh my god, and also Camp Nanowrimo, the cabins have been generated. I chose to be placed into a random cabin. I think the only thing I picked was the... I don't remember what stipulation I put on it. Oh, I can't see what my cabin settings are anymore. I either picked age or I picked genre. I think I picked age. And that's just because I wanted people who were kind of at the same stage of life as me. Ideally, I would have picked age and genre because I feel like a lot of sci-fi problems are pretty, like, weird. But yeah, I think I will spend the rest of the night looking at the campers who are in my cabin and seeing what they're all working on. I do have, like, the lowest writing word goal. I picked something that was really attainable, and I'm probably going to change it after a certain point when I can still change it, because I think you can still change it like 9 days later or something like that. I've put my goal as 7,500 words, which I know is very small. I get it. But I'm like on that 200 to 400 word a day kick. I'm doing slow and steady. That's my plan. And I just wanted to participate in Camp Nanowrimo because I wanted some people that I can talk to who are also writing this month. And so I just was like, oh well, I'll just multiply, you know, a pretty reasonable word count for the number of days, and then I got 7,500. And I look like a weenie compared to people doing 40K or 50K. I could have done time. I could have done like, well, today, like every day you have to do an hour, but I mean, sometimes I don't have that much time, and I just really want it to be something I can have in my everyday life and have it not be really, really difficult to keep up, because this is something that I want to keep up constantly. So, you know. Yeah, I think I'm gonna look at what everybody's doing. I don't know. I don't think you can comment on projects specifically, but that would be cool. I think you can just, like, talk to people. I'm gonna check out what these cool people are doing, and see what all of their projects are, what kind of fun things they have going on. And then I think that's it for today. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this. Bye! Hello. So today is Wednesday the 27th? Nope. Today is Wednesday the 26th of June. And today I get to write a little bit of, like a little excerpt from a fictional, older school science fiction novel. What I'm writing from is from the first page, the first chapter, and so I thought I might as well get some inspiration from some of my other old school sci-fi books that I have and see how they started off their first chapter. My fictional book is called Asteraxis and the Zoltunian Light of Chaos. Let's look at the first words of First on Mars. Also, I really like how the font is on the cover with the little red line in it. I think that's done very well. I haven't read this, by the way. I haven't read a lot of these. So the first line is, "It, the launching site around which we all lived in tin huts at Woomera in the heart of the Australian desert, was not at all like a battlefield of World War I." Okay. Starting with the setting, and yeah, I guess mostly the setting and tone. So this one's a double feature, so Secret Agent of Terra. This year, the first new moon of spring fell early, and in the hill passes, the way was still slippery with ice. And at night, when the caravan made bivouac, they got their water in the form of pailfuls of snow that they had to melt down, while shivering around their fires. So again, a really strong indication of setting and tone. And then the rim of space. Slowly and carefully, as befitted her years, which were many, the Star Tramp Caliban dropped down to Port Forlorn. Okay, so we're starting with an action.
Asimov, more like Asimon. A sci-fi bender, because love is work. Hey, you made me very uncomfortable with all your terrible jokes, so...
What were my terrible jokes?
I don't remember. They were just bad.
So the first line of The Currents of Space is, Reek put down his feeder and jumped to his feet. He was trembling so hard he had to lean against the bare milk-white wall. So here we're starting with a emotion and a character, like an action. I think I might do setting because for our purposes, we've already been introduced to this character because she's listening to an audiobook with him in it when she's traveling, and so there's little snippets of it at that time. And with her now starting this new book, it doesn't really matter like what is at this point. It doesn't matter what's happening in this book. I think eventually I want to tie in like parallels or comparisons of what she's reading and what is happening, like what I had done with the first book that she was reading, but I still have to figure that out. So I think I'm gonna start with a setting and start writing. Alright, that was kind of fun, and now I have to put all of my books back on the shelf. It's still Wednesday. I just took a shower. I wrote, I think like 310 or 320 words today. I have a total of 2,887 words in chapter 6 right now. And I was able to write the first like few lines of this fictional science fiction story. Okay, I'll share with you. this first line. He swore he could hear the distant sound of crickets on the dry and cracked salt flats of Zoltun. A single set of footprints dotted the fractured earth. A crunch, a draw of oxygen. Another crunch when a heavy boot compacted the salt-encrusted ground. The footprints led to a soul man, surrounded by a heat-wavered, methane-rich atmosphere. The man peered through his visor to see nothing less than an oasis dead ahead. Every time I write like a little snippet of these Asteraxis novels, I'm like, ooh, this is fun. Why am I not writing this novel? I've been reading, I think it's called Becoming a Writer by Dorothy Brant, I think. And a lot of it is, it's kind of actually stuff that people talk a lot about on AuthorTube, which is kind of talking about different types of writers who don't finish a manuscript and what their issue is. And one of the things that resonated with me a lot when I first read this was somebody who sees like the shiny new idea and is like, oh, hey there, because I struggle with that so much. I'm even like, every time I shower now, I'm like, oh, that really horrible alien pregnancy novella that is so problematic that I don't think I can salvage it with editing. How could I make it not problematic? And wow, wouldn't it be so fun to edit that? I know it would not be fun to edit that, especially compared to what I'm writing now. But still, it's in my mind. I checked in with my Camp Nanowrimo cabin. I have to remember that I'm doing that. I might forget. Hello. It is the 30th of June. It is a Sunday. And I haven't written for a few days in a row, but I decided to write a little bit tonight. So I am getting ready for Camp Nanowrimo. I have a low goal of at least like 240-ish words every day. And I might have like a day staggered, so I might use my words for today for tomorrow, just so that I don't feel imminently behind, if that makes sense. I did that for like Inktober and like other like daily challenges. I find it helps a lot to make you feel like you're starting well. So if you start falling behind quickly, you aren't as panicked. I wrote 329 words just now. I think I'm done for tonight. I could maybe do a little bit more, but I want to leave off in a place where I think I can pick up again tomorrow. And I am getting towards the end of chapter 6. It has been a while. This chapter has taken me quite a long time to write. Now this chapter is 3,216 words, and I'm trying to figure out where I should leave off because I'm kind of at a bit of a reveal or kind of like a big point, so I'm not sure how to space it out. It's kind of fun when you're not plotting out a novel ahead of time to figure out what it is as you're writing it, because sometimes you just look at what your characters are and where they're at and like what they know, and then you're like, oh, I know what's going on. I'm excited for Camp Nanowrimo. I think this month is gonna be kind of weird. Okay. Bye.